Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome, dear devotees. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 3, and we are in chapter number 2. The title of this chapter is Remembrance of Lord Shri Krishna. Today's discussion will start from text number 25. We are in the pastime where the discussion is happening between Uddhava and Vidura. After Vidura was insulted by Duryodhana, he left the palace. He was traveling at the pilgrimage. He went to different places like Mathura, Ayodhya, Dwarka. At Prabhas Kshetra, he heard the news of how the whole family members died in the fratricidal war. And then he continued his journey. Vidura came to the bank of river Yamuna. And then at that place, he met Uddhava. And Vidura is asking the questions about the welfare of all the family members, Yadu dynasty, as well as especially about Lord Shri Krishna and Balram. And Uddhava, instead of giving a one-line answer, that there was a war, or if it, especially about Krishna, oh Krishna has disappeared from this planet, it can be a one line answer as well. He has departed from this world, he continued his pastime to the other universes. But what it happens is, after Vidura asks the questions, Uddhava goes on a silent for a long time, one muhurta, and then he starts thinking, meditating, and discussing or describing the pastimes about Lord Sri Krishna. So let's start from text number 25. Puja Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam 3.2. Text 25. Vasudevasya devakyam jato bhojendra bandhane chikirshur bhagavanasya shamajena bhiyachitah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, being prayed to by Brahma to bring welfare to the earth, was begotten by Vasudeva in the womb of his wife Devaki, in the prison of the King Bhoja. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. And 26 as well, Kamal Nayan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 26. Tato nanda vrajamitaha pitra kamsat vibhayata ekadasha samastatra guda chahi sabalo vasat. Translation by His Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, his father, being afraid of Kamsa, brought him to the cow pastures of Maharaj Nanda, and there he lived for 11 years like a covered flame with his elder brother Baladeva.
Amazing. So here, Vidura's question was about the disappearance of Lord Shri Krishna. But from text number 25 onwards, you see Uddhava is speaking about appearance. How Krishna took birth or appeared in this world when Devaki and Vasudeva were in the jail. The personality, if you focus on text number 25 translation, the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, being prayed to by Brahma to bring welfare to the earth, was begotten by Vasudeva in the womb of his wife Devaki in the prison of the king of Bhoja. So you see the contradictory answer in a one way, that while Vidura is asking about disappearance, Uddhava is talking about the appearance. And from this particular verse onwards, from text 25, Krishna's appearance, the reason because of Brahma's prayers to remove the burden of the mother earth, starting from there, Krishna appearing in the womb of Devaki, right from up to next 2 or 3 chapters, all the pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna is being described by Uddhava. How Krishna performed various pastimes in Vrindavan. At the age of 11, he moved out of Vrindavan. He went to Mathura, And even while he was in Vrindavan, what different pastimes he performed at different ages. When he was 6 year old, what he did, started grazing the cows. When he was 7 year old, what pastimes he performed up to 11 year old in Vrindavan. Then he went to Mathura, and then from there he moved to Dwarka. Dwarka pastimes are also mentioned. After that, how Yadu dynasty members, they were in Dwarka. They had a fight between them. They all left, and finally, after the end of the next three chapters, you will see that Uddhava is coming discussing the disappearance of Lord Sri Krishna. You see, it's not a one-line answer, but it is the whole explanation, remembrance, everything is given by Uddhava. Why? We can understand why Uddhava answers to Vidura in such a way while discussing about the appearance, about the activities, and then coming to the disappearance. The reason mentioned, if you see the purport also, Srila Prabhupada explains in the text number 25 purport that Vidura's questions was disappearance, but Uddhava is starting Krishna Katha. He is remembering about Krishna and he is doing Krishna Katha because the departure of Lord cannot be understood independently. The departure of Lord Sri Krishna can only be understood with connection to his transcendental appearance as well as transcendental activities throughout his life while on this planet. And after that, in connection with that appearance and the activities, one can understand the disappearance of Lord Sri Krishna properly. Janma karma chame divyam. Janma means appearance, karma means his activities. Janma karma chame divyam. It is said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita as well that one can understand this birth and activities, they are transcendental. And when one understands that why Lord Sri Krishna appeared, how he appeared, what was the reason, and what activities he performed, based on that, one can easily understand and one can easily absorb in the mood of the departure of Krishna from this planet as well. So, and that is why, that is the main reason Uddhava starts from, while answering Vidura's question, he starts from the appearance. And if you see this text number 25, that is the exact point about his appearance while Devki and Vasudeva were in jail and Krishna appeared in the womb of Devki. What is Uddhava demonstrating by giving this answer? Uddhava is showing that Krishna's disappearance from this world is not just the end of Krishna's presence. Krishna may have winded his pastime on this world, but that doesn't mean that Krishna's presence is ended. Although Krishna has withdrawn his visible pastimes in front of our eyes, we may not be able to see. Krishna may have disappeared performing the pastimes from this world, but Krishna never disappears from the heart of a devotee. He is always present. Krishna is always present as his remembrance in the heart of a devotee, even though he is not personally, we devotees may not be able to see a personal pastimes being performed in Vrindavan. And that's why Uddhava is demonstrating that Krishna may not be visibly seen, may have winded up the pastime, but he is still present in the heart of a devotee, in the remembrance of Lord Sri Krishna. And that's why the title of this chapter says Remembrance of Lord Sri Krishna. And Krishna's presence can be felt, can be experienced by a devotee by just remembering Lord Sri Krishna. Prabhupada writes earlier in this chapter as well in the purport that Uddhava went into the trance. He felt dead silent because whatever feelings, whatever emotions Uddhava was experiencing while Lord Sri Krishna was present right in front of his eyes, the same feelings, the same emotions Uddhava experienced when Vidurji asked about Krishna and Uddhava got the remembrance of Sri Krishna. So Krishna is still present. Krishna is present in the heart of the devotees when devotees are doing Krishna Katha, when devotees are remembering, deep remembrance of Lord Sri Krishna in the heart. We can feel the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. And this is what Uddhava is demonstrating by starting the answers. Let's see further what Uddhava is describing. Text number 27. Padma Mataji.
She's not here in the class group.
Not here. Okay. Anirvan Prabhu, you want to text number 27 and 28 also we can do. Kunj Bihari Prabhu, get ready. We can do both together. 27 and 28.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। हरे कृष्णा डियर डिवोटीज, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। श्रील प्रभात की जय। परितो वत्सपेर्वात्सांस चारयन् व्यरहद् विभुः यमुनोपवने कूजत् द्विजा संकुलिताङ्घ्रिपे।
Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. In his childhood, the Almighty Lord was surrounded by cowherd boys and calves, and thus he travelled on the shore of the Yamuna river, through gardens densely covered with trees and filled with vibrations of chirping birds. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Danvat Pranam. Text 28. Kaumarim darshayamscheshtam prekshaniyam rajaukasham rudaniva hasanmukta bala simhalokana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the Lord displayed his activities just suitable for childhood, he was visible only to the residents of Vrindavan. Sometimes he would cry, sometimes laugh, just like a child, and while so doing, he would appear like a lion cub. Hare Krishna.
So amazing. Previously, Uddhava explained about his appearance. Now he's starting with his childhood pastimes in Vrindavan. So Uddhava is mentioning all the Vrindavan pastimes of the Lord, starting from his birth and how when Krishna was small, how he was performing various pastimes with his parents, as well as cowherd boys and gopis of Vrindavan, how he was stealing butter when he grew, what he did. How he would cry and sometimes laugh, just like a child, and while doing so, he would appear like a lion cub. So, the different pastimes. Srila Prabhupada very nicely explains. If you love Vrindavan pastimes, if you like to absorb, in the katha, like how Krishna's various leela or performing pastimes in Vrindavan, this particular section, few verses, if you read the purport, not much philosophy, but very nice absorbing in the pastime. Srila Prabhupada explains in detail how Krishna was performing, what he was doing when he was about 6 years old, how he took in charge. When the under 6 year olds, the kids, the children, Krishna was performing pastimes of stealing butter and those kind of pasts. After 6 year old, the in Vrindavan, the boys are given the charge of the cows, small baby cows, that they can take out for grazing when they are 6 year olds. And when he grows up, and all these different pastimes are mentioned. Anyway, from this text number and 27 and 28, what do we learn here? When Vidura is meeting to Uddhava, the remembrance of Krishna and the discussion of the pastimes of Lord Krishna starts. And the lesson what we learn from this is our association determines what we remember, what is our mood, what is our heart, and what kind of discussion we end up with. That is dependent on the association we have. Here, because Vidura and Uddhava are meeting the great transcendentalist, and that's why the discussion is happening about Krishna. Krishna Katha is happening. And the transcendental devotees, transcendental association, and that's why the discussion or the topic is also transcendental, about the transcendental Lord, and its beautiful pastimes are being described. In our life also, if we associate with the people who are money minded, their minds always how to make more money, how to do investment properties, and how to do this. If we associate with people like that, our thoughts, our uh, discussions, it will go in that direction only. And even if we are not present in front of that person, but our mind have picked up the thoughts and it will think about this, how to have more money in mind. Or sometimes people meet and talk about movies or going to cricket or entertainment in life. And when people's in the heart, if there is an entertainment movie or cricket, when they meet, The discussion starts about that. कौन सा नया movie आया है? Which one is the new one? Have you watched this? What happens in this? अभी कौन सा team cricket खेल रहा है? And which one? Who is winning? And what is happening? And if we dwell in those pastimes, if we associate with people who are dwelling in those kind of subject matters, what happens is our remembrance will also go in that direction. And if you meet people who have uh, who wants position, who wants authority, who wants to be certain, seniority, or the controlling mentality is there, then if we associate with that people, we also get that kind of vibes. We also get that kind of thoughts, and it stays within our mind, and then it goes in our heart as well. And here we see the remembrance of Lord Sri Krishna and the transcendental discussion by Vidura and Uddhava is happening because both of their hearts, they have Krishna in their heart and they want to do Krishna Katha. So that's why we understand from this particular verses or section of Srimad Bhagavatam that our association determines what our remembrance is. And that's why we have to be very careful whom we associate with and what kind of discussion we are having within the devotees when we are associating with devotees, when we are meeting the devotees, what kind of subject matters are we discussing. We have to be very careful, we have to be aware of what is happening. If we associate with devotees who are very serious about their progress in bhakti, if we associate with the devotees who want to improve the quality of their chanting, who want to uh, perform devotional service, serve Krishna as their bait, enhance their seva, and if we associate with devotees who have deep interest in Bhagavad Gita as well as Srimad Bhagavatam, then naturally, when we associate with those kind of devotees and when we have discussion or meeting with those kind of devotees, in our heart, in our remembrance, we will dwell. We'll think of Bhagavad Gita message, we'll think of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can think of how to do our service nicely, how to improve our chanting better. And that's why very important to understand that when we meet devotees, we observe our conversation. ये बातें कहाँ ले जा रही है हमें? What kind of conversation is happening? What kind of katha or a talk when we are meeting? Is it improving our um, is it making our progress in bhakti, or is it some mundane topics we are discussing? Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi ho. When we meet the devotees or even pure devotees like Maharaj or Brahmachari or many different senior devotees in the temple, it is an opportunity for us, even though it could be 5 minutes or 10 minutes or some short duration, but that is an opportunity for us to progress in bhakti. But if we dwell in some mundane subject matters for that particular time, then we missed the opportunity of our serious progress in bhakti. And that's why when we have conversation with devotees, observe, is my chanting is improved after this conversation? Is my thoughts, the remembrance of Lord Shri Krishna is improved? Is my sadhana is getting better after this? My reading of scriptures, it is getting better or not after meeting with devotees? Because that is the ultimate aim, the perfection of our life. Other things आता जाता रहता है. Who will win the cricket, who will lose the cricket, which movie will come new, other will not come. The people want the position or pride or authority, seniority. People will come and go. But it is that our serious improvement in our quality of chanting, our reading of scriptures, service towards Lord as well as devotees, that is what going to take us to the spiritual world. And that we shouldn't forget our aim. हमको गोलोक धाम जाना है, भगवान की सेवा करनी है. And then that's why whenever we meet, whoever we have conversation with, it's very important. Life is short, that we have to utilize this short duration of our life in the progress of our bhakti, not to the mundane subject matters. One, I can see Anilvin Prabhu, you have raised a hand. Let me finish this text and I can come to the question with that. See, sometimes when we meet devotees, most of you are, coming to the temple, to the programs for a long time, for many, many years. If you carefully observe your conversation, many times devotees will start talking bad about other devotees. talking about fault finding, इसने ऐसा किया, उसको ऐसा नहीं बोलना चाहिए था, blaspheming devotees, or just talking, you know, because that our material tendency from the outside materialistic world, backbiting and all those things, qualities are there, and it comes, enters into the devotional life also. Very importantly, when we observe our conversation, if things like this happens, we just stay away. Of course, dadati pratigrahanati guhyam achati prachyati, that verse is there where within the close group of our devotees, we can reveal our heart. We have some doubt, we open up, and the other person will guide us. And then we clear out our doubt if we have for some devotees or some behavior of some devotees. And that will help us to clear the doubt and improve in bhakti. That is fine. But unnecessary fault finding, unnecessary blaspheming, और टॉकिंग बैड अबाउट अदर डिवोटीज, वो ऐसा बोलते हैं, वो ऐसा करते हैं, उन्होंने ऐसा गुस्सा किया, उन्होंने ऐसी बातें की, all those things is not necessary. Just stay away. Because what happens if you hear them, if you, one person may say, oh, the other person was speaking, I was not speaking bad about that devotee. But what happens when you are hearing, because you are standing, you are becoming the cause that the other person is speaking bad about others. But when the things goes into the ears, the bad things or blaspheming about other devotees, when you are hearing, it goes into the ears, it stays in the mind. And today you are hearing, tomorrow you will be also speaking, because it's there. What is inside, that will come out. Because it goes, it stays inside if you are hearing, and tomorrow you will also start speaking. And that is the whole bhakti path can be destroyed. Why? Because Krishna doesn't like if someone says bad about the devotees. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu says, those who are chanting Hare Krishna, they are my prananath, they are my life and soul, those who are chanting. And if we speak bad about such devotees or someone we are blaspheming, then Lord Krishna doesn't like. And the holy name, the taste of chanting, the taste of scriptures will slowly, slowly go away. And then we will not even realize, but we will not feel the connection with bhakti, scriptures, or chanting. But anyway, if in our practical example also, if someone is talking bad about our child, आपका बेटा तो बहुत बदमाश है, ये है, वो करता है, वो बहुत ही गलतियां करता है, बहुत ही परेशान करता है. If someone is talking bad about our child, the parents will not like it. Of course, सही भी होगा, even if they are telling the right thing, but the parents will not like when people just continuously speak bad about. In the same way, everyone is part and parcel of Lord Shri Krishna. And if a person is speaking bad about a devotee, Lord Krishna doesn't like. And what happens? The holy name, the potency is slowly, slowly withdrawn. The holy name withdraws its potency. And that's why people stops the feeling of the chanting, or the scriptures withdraws the potency when people speak bad. So very importantly, when we have the conversation, when we meet devotees, we observe हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं, हमारा ये जो कथा है, डिस्कशन है, कौन सी डायरेक्शन में, व्हाट डायरेक्शन इज इट गोइंग, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू ऑब्जर्व. Yes, Anirin Prabhu, before we go further, you can take your
So Prabhuji, my question is this, that Prabhu, हम लोग by mercy of devotees somehow from the last few years we have come into this and we see value, but we have come from these greater families जिनको उसमें कुछ दिखता नहीं है, कुछ भी वैल्यू नहीं दिखता है. दे डोंट नो अबाउट चैंटिंग, उनको मालूम भी नहीं है, दे डोंट वांट टू नो, एंड समहाउ बाय द प्रोविडेंस ऑफ टाइम समटाइम्स वी हैव टू एसोसिएट विद देम. कभी तो उनके साथ जाके रहना भी पड़ता है, एंड देन दे आर वेरी एंग्री. जब उनको पता चलता है ना ये सब करते हैं, दे गेट सो एंग्री. एंड कभी कभी हमें 3-4 दिन 5 दिन उनके साथ रहना पड़ता है, फोन पे बात करते हैं. तो प्रभु कैसे, लाइक व्हाट शुड, I mean, there will be multiple ways we have to deal with them, but हम तो ये चाहते हैं अंदर से कि सारे लोगों को अच्छा लगे, सारे लोगों को वैल्यू दिखे, बट ऐसा होता नहीं है. एंड दे आर so angry, they are blaspheming people, Vaishnavas and all. So how should we like deal with this, Prabhu? कैसे, for example, जैसे इंडिया से कभी कभी फोन आता है, सम रिलेटिव्स हुआ, जैसे मासी हो गए या सम पीपल हु हैव अथॉरिटी, वो इतने गुस्सा करते हैं कई बार. दे आर लाइक तुम्हारा दिमाग खराब हो गया है, तुम गुरु के चक्कर में पड़ गए हो, तुमको ये नहीं पता ऐसे होता है, ऐसे होता है. सो व्हाट शुड वी टॉक, व्हाट शुड वी से, प्रभु कैसे करें हम उसको?
Yeah, very practical question, because we can't cut connections with everyone. We have to somehow we end up with, either attending a social occasion or where we go to India and we associate with our relatives and everyone. And not everyone will understand the mercy of Krishna or the path of bhakti, the significance of it as we understand. And that's why they may have ulterior aims in their life, either progressing economically or growing socially in the position or all those things. And that's why there is a conflict, because our aim is very clear. We want to progress in bhakti, but they think as bhakti is a waste, because अरे तुम काम वाम सब छोड़ के मंदिर मंदिर करते हो, ये क्या, ये खाना पीना एंजॉय करो, ये क्या लहसुन प्याज नहीं खाने का, why you are not eating onion garlic, why there are so much rules and regulations, Krishna has given the life, enjoy it at fullest. And that is those kind of arguments they give. A very practical question. I have also experienced many, and I'm sure many devotees experience such instances. So two ways we can tackle with this situation. First is, when we meet people, we can clearly figure it out in few seconds that are they favorable to bhakti or are they against or envious of it. वो तो तुरंत within a minute you can figure it out. When you see that a person is not favorable to bhakti or against, or they don't like all these processes, better not to talk about all these things. And then we can have many other subject matters also to talk about: how is life, what is happening, or how is your health. And for a short time, if we are meeting to people like this, it's okay to talk about politics or cricket or what is happening about economic development in India and how the Indian economy is growing and all those subject matters. It's okay to talk about for short time, making sure that we are just having the conversation to keep our relationship intact and not to discuss. अगर वो बोलते हैं ना, why you are chanting, if we know that person is envious, he doesn't like, he says why you are chanting, छोड़ो यार वो तो हम, we are talking, we are doing in Australia all these things, our chanting and everything, but you tell me, what is the latest movie you saw? So we just cut the, and that's what I have tackled the situation. We just don't have the conversation. And why we don't have the conversation is because those relative or those people, they don't accept us as authority. They don't accept us our teacher or anything. And if they are not accepting as authority, whatever we speak, they are not going to accept it anyway. So, but why to waste our energy? Just talk about, yesterday what dinner you made, and do you cook sometimes as well? What is your favorite dish? Which team you support or whatever. When the India and Australia cricket team are playing in MCG in Melbourne, we have our son has either they support Australia or they support India because they are Australian, they are born in Australia, and we have a conversation. And it could be any, there is Patri Prabhu, when he came, I spent like 3 full days, from Nepal he came. I spent 3 full days with him, morning to evening, and I was just observing. He goes to the bank, and to the bank manager he would start speaking about some economical things. He would meet someone and he will start talking about politics. To someone else he will meet. So, and when I said, Prabhu, you are spending so much time on the computer, he was about politics and everything. And he said, Prabhu, I need to keep up to date. I just can't go in the bank and say, start Bhagavatam to them. I can't go meet a politician. If you see his Patri Prabhu's website, he has that yogi and so many different politicians his photo. Why? Because we can connect. If you see Srila Prabhupada's example, when he met, where was in America? I don't remember exact, San Francisco or somewhere. He was Prabhupada old man, and the neighbor was an old lady. And when Prabhupada met him, all the devotees, they thought Prabhupada will speak about chanting. You start chanting, you are an old lady. And Prabhupada said, oh, you have beautiful flowers in your garden. How often do you water them? And how is your health? Do you have to visit is there someone else to take care of you? And how long you have been sitting here? And 20 minutes Prabhupada talk about all these things, garden and health and family members and everything. And he said, okay, thank you. That's it. No Krishna Katha, no chanting, nothing. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada exhibits to the neighbors, we need to have a good relationship. We just can't, focus on Krishna Katha, and if they don't like, we end up with a bad relationship. In the same way, with our family members, with our relatives and everyone, because we respect them. But if they keep on enviousness and if they keep on angry, then we know we have to have a distance with them. Sometimes we want to have relationship with everyone. That's why devotees go out and do Harinam or book distribution, because they want. But if someone is very envious, if someone is getting blaspheming the devotees, then we step away. Generally, our first action is, we try to uh, avoid talking about Krishna Katha to them if they are not favorable. If they are favorable, then the second approach comes, that you talk. We don't give instruction. We tell them, "Aapke closer to your house, there will be a temple. You can go and visit them. Nice prasadam, beautiful kirtan, singing, music, nice. You can go and visit them." Here also, in our friends, we don't start giving birth, death, old age, disease are the miseries of this life, and all this. We start because they don't see us as a teacher, they see as a friend. And that's the problem. We connect them with some bhakti vriksha, we connect them with some temple visits or program and everything, and their progress will happen after that. All right.
Beautiful. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
so much, Prabhu.
I think we will stop here. Anyone else want to add or anything? We have many. Monday we will finish anyway. Only 5 verses left. Time is up as well. But very important question, Nivin Prabhu, very practical as well. And within the devotees as well. For example, I can tell you, when we meet youth, I am involved in the youth classes, and we go, they're teenagers, about 14 to. So now I can't go and tell, oh, Krishna is grazing the cows in the Vrindavan pasturing grounds and everything. To them, we have to talk about something which is more relatable to them, about social media, the influence, or sometimes it could be proper diet to maintain the body fit. And the discussion can happen in a positive direction just to maintain the relationship with the youths. Where you like traveling, which countries did you travel, what's your plan for Christmas holidays. So it's those kind of discussions that helps. And I have observed many times these brahmacharis or maharajas, and if you see the conversations of Srila Prabhupada, he will sometimes not even speak anything. And there are many disciples of Srila Prabhupada who are doing the Western preaching programs, like they go to speak to the parliament, they may not even speak about a word Krishna or Bhagavatam or Gita in the lecture. But, and there are many, Jai Seti, and there are many devotees are there. All this enhances people, uh, uplifts the people to the mode of goodness, because the mode of goodness sets the platform so that from that people go to the mode of pure goodness. सत्व गुण से लेके आते हैं और उधर से शुद्ध सत्व पे लेके जाते हैं. Pure goodness, they will be transformed. And that's why, eating, sleeping early at night, eating healthy foods, those kind of discussion is also good with the youth or teenagers or with outsiders. ठीक है? Yes, Param Udara Shri Krishna Prabhu and Shashitala Mataji.
Prabhu, agar if someone, when we visit India, this is my observation, like people can't change us, but they think that we are forcing our kids, and they brainwash kids also. How to deal with that? And it
Yeah,
is more painful when our dear one, like close one, does this, and it's really hard to develop that faith, and then suddenly, all of the sudden, their again close relatives are trying to brainwash them. How we should take it?
No, but that's right. That's 100% correct. We are brainwashing because brain में बहुत सारा गंदगी पड़ा है. There are so many bad things in the brain, and that needs to be washed. So when they see you are brainwashing, that is correct. We are brainwashing. Dishes wash करना पड़ता है, कपड़े wash करने पड़ते हैं because they are dirty. In the same way, there are bad things in the brain. We have to wash it, but we can't explain this to them.
No, Prabhu, it is like they are brainwashing. Whatever we taught them so far, it all goes in the vein. Like that's what my experience was last time.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah, that
went in
is
vain,
right.
and they were like,
Hare Krishna Guruji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna devotee.